Welcome to Retro Pocket, guys. Bruce here. So, if you just got yourself a Meta Quest 3 or 3S, and you're wondering, where are the VR games that make me feel feelings and not just fall off cliffs in Beat Saber? Well, good news, Pixel Adventurer. We've hunted down the top 10 story-based VR games that'll grab your heart, twist your brain, and maybe even scare your headset off. These games are choose-your-own-headache adventures with feels, fangs, and fantastic plots. Smash that like button, comment your faves, and subscribe before the NPCs become self-aware.
Their bodies. They've been arranged in some sort of ritual.
Please, just let Yana be all right.
What was that?
Metro Awakening. This game is going to yank you headfirst into the grimy, ghost-soaked underbelly of post-nuclear Moscow, and this time you're not just playing the apocalypse, you're wearing it on your face. Set in 2028, you'll step into the heavy boots of Serda, a doctor who's less house calls and more haunted tunnels survivalist, desperately searching for his missing wife and the life-saving meds she needs. It's a heart-wrenching journey wrapped in eerie vibes, radioactive dust, and an entire metro system that's basically a DIY horror house built by nuclear fallout and bad decisions. Gameplay here isn't just walk forward and shoot mutant, oh no. It's a claustrophobic dance of stealth, scrappy combat, and existential dread. You'll scrounge for filters like a post-apocalyptic hoarder. Your flashlight will betray you at the worst moments, because of course it will. And your arsenal looks like it was cobbled together by a Mad Max fan with access to a high school workshop. Between desperate bandits, radiation, and literal ghosts, every step is a choice between fight, flight, or just curling into a ball and crying softly. If you survive, well, you'll awaken something a lot scarier, your true self. Good luck, Doctor. You're gonna need it.
Be careful.
No. Belgravia isn't what we were led to believe.
Red Matter 1 and 2. These two games are basically what happens when you mash Cold War paranoia, Soviet aesthetics, brain-busting puzzles, and just a teensy bit of existential dread into your VR headset and crank it to maximum intensity. In Red Matter 1, you'll play as Agent Epsilon, an interstellar detective dispatched to an abandoned Volgravian base on Saturn's moon Rhea. Your job? Poke around a top-secret science facility where everything, and I mean everything, is a little too quiet, a little too creepy, and hiding secrets darker than your last existential crisis at 3 a.m. You'll solve intricate puzzles, decode suspiciously placed messages, and slowly spiral into what the heck is happening territory, all while admiring some of VR's crispiest visuals. Fast forward to Red Matter 2, where you swap Epsilon's shoes for Sasha's, another poor soul tossed into the deep end of cosmic espionage. This time, you'll be jetpacking through massive bases, hacking systems, sneaking past enemies, and even throwing down in intense shootouts. It's like if NASA built an escape room, but also casually threw laser turrets and Cold War mind games into the mix. Both games together basically scream, trust nobody, solve everything, and enjoy the prettiest panic attack of your life. Resident Evil 4 VR. Agent Leon S. Kennedy is definitely not getting hazard pay big enough for this mess. Sent to rescue the president's daughter in some charming little European village, spoiler, it's not charming, he quickly finds himself fighting for his life against locals who seem like they took hostile hospitality to Olympic levels. 6 years after surviving Raccoon City, Leon's luck clearly hasn't improved. Because what he stumbles into is a twisted carnival of cults, mutations, and boss fights that'll make you rethink every vacation plan you've ever had. Gameplay has been given the full VR magic touch. letting you physically reload guns, parry incoming attacks with a knife, and flail wildly while screaming, scientifically accurate. The controls feel sharp and responsive, while the atmosphere will make your skin crawl, even before you meet anything with more than two heads. Every shootout, every puzzle, every what the hell is that moment feels even more intense when you're experiencing it eyeball to eyeball in virtual reality. With gorgeous reimagined environments and smooth modern mechanics, this remake is a full-on resurrection that reminds you why this game shook the entire industry the first time around. And guess what? It's still absolutely terrifying the second time too. Moss Book 1 and 2. Tiny adventurer Quill is back to melt your heart and also totally wreck your brain with clever puzzles as you dive into this enchanting diorama-like VR experience. In the first adventure, you, the reader, stumble upon a magical book that literally pulls you into its pages, where you team up with Quill, a brave little mouse with a sword and an attitude that could topple kingdoms. Together, you'll traverse ruins, solve environmental brain teasers, and face off against a fire-breathing snake named Sarfog, who clearly did not get the memo about cute animals being friends, not foes. Plus, Quill occasionally uses American Sign Language to chat with you, which is about 10 times more adorable than anything else in VR. Then Moss. Book 2 cranks it all up to 11 bigger worlds, bigger stakes, and yes, even bigger emotional damage, in the best way. Quill's on a mission to save the entire land of Moss now, using new tools like vine bridges and wielding a hammer so large it would make Thor jealous. Exploration feels more open. Verticality is added with climbing mechanics, and the puzzles are sprinkled around like mischievous little surprises. It's cozy, challenging, breathtaking, and somehow still makes you ugly cry over a mouse with a sword.
But be careful. Not all is what it seems. You must finish what I could not.
Wanderer, the Fragments of Fate. Time travel is about to get way messier, and a whole lot more awesome as you dive headfirst into an adventure that chucks history, sci-fi, and a truckload of mind-bending puzzles into a VR blender. You'll leap across eras, becoming everything from a space race scientist to a medieval warrior, and maybe even a groovy 60s rocker, no tie-dye required. With your trusty, now upgraded talking watch, Samuel, tagging along, expect a journey where you're zipping through zip lines, swimming across ancient ruins, and diffusing chaos across centuries like some dangerously stylish time janitor. Gameplay is where things blast off into the stratosphere. Full-body avatars make you actually become the people you inhabit, with haptics so real you'll probably flinch when a medieval arrow whizzes by. Physics-driven movement means climbing, swinging, jumping, and even ziplining through history won't just be cinematic. It'll feel like leg day in VR form. And thanks to a slick new combat system, time itself isn't the only thing you'll be smashing.
Are you not angry? Fight back!
It's the freaking bat! We aren't afraid of you! The bat dies tonight!
Batman Arkham Shadow. Step into the cowl of a younger, angrier, more punch-first-ask-later version of the Dark Knight as he swings, glides, and growls his way through Gotham's seediest corners in Arkham Shadow, a VR sequel that brings Batman's early years uncomfortably close to your face. Set just 6 months after Arkham Origins, you're chasing a mysterious madman known only as the Rat King, who's got a flair for chaos and a calendar fetish, because, yep, he's planning to ruin 4th of July. Fireworks? Try fire and fists instead. The gameplay feels like a VR dream cooked up by Bruce Wayne's therapist. Free-flow combat returns with full VR flair. Every punch, counter, and batarang feels weighty, responsive, and dangerously fun. The iconic stealth sections let you stalk goons from above, under, and within, all while activating detective vision, like you're the world's angriest X-ray technician. You'll glide with the cape, grapple across rooftops, and toss smoke bombs like they're party favors at a noir-themed rave. And as you gain new gadgets and gear, the city slowly opens up, Metroidvania style, revealing hidden paths and secrets only the world's most brooding detective could sniff out.
You do well to remember that. Because if you don't, I'll make things very uncomfortable.
Vampire the Masquerade, Justice. Welcome to a Venice, where the moonlight's barely enough to catch the glint of your fangs before you strike. As a newly turned creature of the night in Vampire the Masquerade, Justice, you'll slip through alleys and across rooftops in a first-person campaign that's equal parts stealth, seduction, and savage bloodletting. And forget garlic and crosses. The real threat here is your upgraded powers, turning you into a walking shadow with an appetite for bad guys. Gameplay lets you craft your own brand of vampire vengeance. Want to ghost past patrols without a trace? Done. Prefer to boil someone's insides just to make a point? Oh, that's in the toolkit too. You can leap at enemies with supernatural force, lay traps for the careless, and whip out your crossbow like a night-stalking Van Helsing with better taste in jacket. Your choices matter as you shape your powers and tackle bonus objectives across a fully fleshed-out story campaign. And the city? Gorgeous, haunting, and dripping with gothic vibes, Venice has never looked this deadly under moonlight. This game is a midnight symphony of blood, shadows, and perfectly executed takedown. Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. You know you've made it in life when you're parkouring off a Venetian rooftop as Ezio, slashing redcoats as Connor, and Sparta kicking your way through Athens as Cassandra, all before lunch. That's the kind of time-hopping chaos you'll be living in Assassin's Creed Nexus VR, the first fully fledged, full-body VR leap of faith in Ubisoft's beloved stabby history simulator. You are the assassin, flailing, climbing, and air assassinating like it's your animus-given birthright. Gameplay is a high-octane cocktail of stealth, sword fighting, climbing towers, and oh god, I just leapt off that balcony. First-person free-running works surprisingly well, with motion options to keep you from yeeting your headset across the room. Each protagonist brings their own vibe, Ezio's style, Connor's brute force, Cassandra's Spartan sass, all woven into one overarching hacker vs. Abstergo tale loaded with secrets, betrayal, and logic bombs. Yes, logic bombs. You're also a hacker sabotaging memories while blending in as history's deadliest fashion icon. From sneaky assassinations to epic street battles, Nexus VR makes you feel like Ubisoft kicked open history's door and yelled, "Let's make it intensely personal." And they did. Now you're the one in the robes. The Room VR, A Dark Matter. Grab your magnifying glass and your strongest cup of tea, because you're about to dive headfirst into a VR mystery that's basically Sherlock Holmes meets Eldritch Nightmares. In The Room VR, A Dark Matter, you're not just solving puzzles, you're practically possessed by them. Set in 1908 at the ever-so-suspicious British Institute of Archaeology, your task is to investigate the sudden vanishing of a top-tier Egyptologist. But what starts as a classic missing persons case quickly spirals into a cosmic descent where reality feels more like a suggestion. Gameplay turns you into a VR detective archaeologist conspiracy theorist hybrid, poking and prodding at beautifully rendered, definitely cursed artifacts. Every lever, lens, and rotating mechanism is physically interactive. You'll lean, twist, and whisper, "What the hell is that?" a lot. The puzzles? Satisfyingly complex but never cruel, offering that eureka dopamine hit every time something clicks into place. And it's all drenched in a haunting atmosphere, so thick you might consider lighting a real candle just to calm your nerves. Lovecraftian weirdness meets classic British mystery, all tied together with Fireproof's unmatched craftsmanship. If you've ever wanted to be trapped in a haunted puzzle box with a PhD in weird stuff, this is your dream, or your polite tea-sipping nightmare.
It's you! Don't be afraid. I'm here to help. There are many like me here, trapped in this house.
The Seventh Guest VR. In this game, you're waltzing straight into a VR seance with your sanity on the line. The Seventh Guest VR resurrects the legendary 90s puzzle horror classic and straps it to the creepy train with a first-class ticket straight into your headset. You play as the invisible observer, creeping through Henry Staff's gothic labyrinth of a mansion, a place so haunted the wallpaper probably whispers your name when you're not looking. 6 unlucky souls have been invited to dinner, but surprise, the real meal is psychological torment and cryptic death puzzles. As you unlock doors and unravel twisted secrets, each puzzle ups the creepy factor, forcing you to literally lean in and interact with objects that you really wish wouldn't move on their own. The VR magic here doesn't just amplify the horror, it suffocates you in it. Every whisper, every flickering candle, every inexplicable child's giggle from behind a locked door will have you questioning your life choices. And just when you think you're clever enough to outsmart the mansion, boom! Shadowy figures, spooky visions, reality-warping puzzles that feel like they've been designed by a haunted Rubik's Cube. It's vintage horror with a VR twist, creepy, clever, and delightfully cursed. And there you have it, 10 VR story bangers that'll leave your jaw on the floor, your controller on low battery, and your soul screaming, just one more chapter. Now get busy solving ancient mysteries, slaying monsters, or becoming a bitey night crawler in Venice. There's a plot twist waiting just around your virtual corner. So go ahead, comment your top pick, and subscribe before your meta quest becomes your main personality trait. Don't worry, we're already there.